artery that goes into the glomerulus. Okay, now substances that are easily cleaned at this level with just the glomerulus without concentrating into the proximal convoluted tubule for further degradation or filtration, these podocytes, that's what these are, podocytes, are macrophages, and the material coming into the glomerulus, these macrophages take care of all the bad stuff that's small enough for them to handle first. Then it can recirculate back through the efferent artery back into circulation. This is the afferent. It's larger than the efferent. Okay? Now, this is known as the glomerulus, and it's surrounded by a capsule known as the Bowman's capsule. Okay? Together, the Bowman's capsule and the glomerulus make up the renal corpuscle. Okay? Now, for further filtration that needs to go through reabsorption and filtration in a more complex form, the fluids will travel through the proximal convoluted tubule that we see here, proximal convoluted tubule, through the descending limb, loop of Henle, ascending limb, distal convoluted tubule, into the collecting duct. The collecting duct at this time, after the filtration takes place here, is going to have pure urine. And it's going to transfer that urine down to the renal papillae, which are right in here. The renal papillae at the apex of the pyramids is going to drip pure urine into the minor calyx, from the minor calyx to the major calyx, from the major calyx to the renal pelvis, into the ureter, and then down into the bladder. Okay? So you have approximately 1 million nephrons per kidney. Nephrons reside in the pyramids. Now the space that the pyramids reside in is called the medulla. From the base of the pyramids to the renal capsule, or fibrous capsule, is the cortex. Okay? In between the pyramids are known as the renal columns. Okay? Columns are a tissue that separate the pyramids from each other. Okay? The depression in the kidney is known as the hilum, and the hilum is the area where blood vessels, nerve tissue, and the ureters will enter and exit the kidney. The way to tell the difference between the cortical nephron and juxtaglomerular nephron is that the juxtaglomerular nephron has larger descending and ascending loops than the cortical one does. It's shorter. Also, the cortical nephron is closer to the cortex, and the juxtaglomerular nephron is closer to the medulla. So another thing here is the juxtaglomerular tubules are going to be deeper into the medulla than the cortical tubes. Okay? And they are longer. Juxtaglomerular nephrons are longer than cortical. Corticals are shorter. That's how you can tell. Okay?